All right, hi everybody. It is September 7th. It is an absolutely gorgeous day. It's 68 degrees. It's a little after 12:30. A little bit of an earlier start today because of just the way the timeline's going. I just happen to have my kids today, so Kian, say hi.
Hi.
Zaya, say hi. She'll just give a wave, but that's what you get for having a 12-year-old and an 11-year-old. But someday they will be helpers in the business, I truly hope. But heading over to the Poughkeepsie Grandview today at the tent. This is like literally the perfect day for a tent wedding. I don't think you could ask for more between the beautiful weather, nice milky sunshine, a little bit of cloud. So hopefully they'll kind of come over in for a ceremony to kind of even out those lightings for our photographers today. But, this is just one of those, just nice events. I don't have to worry about setting up my speakers because they do have built-in sound for the cocktail and dinner side. I do have my Maui 5 goes for a ceremony. Otherwise, real nice, easy load in. It's just one of those, I hate to say it, just nice breezy days where you can just, get in, set up all your stuff, relax for a little bit, and then, the action begins. So I'm heading out now. I'm about 30 minutes away. Let's have some fun today. All right, everybody, it is 3:22, so a little over an hour and a half away from ceremony starting. And I started getting a little worried for a second. It got nice and cloudy, perfect for the photographer sense, but I was starting to worry that there might be some sprinkles in the area. But luckily, those seem to be at bay, so it's pretty much as perfect a day as you can get. It's like 72 degrees outside, just absolutely gorgeous view today. Everything's sounding great. The venue, I just noticed, they just put in permanent air conditioning too, so this is a real nice addition to the Grandview's tent services, so this is really, really beautiful. They also have a grand ballroom as well. You've seen videos both in here and over in the grand ballroom as well, same location, but this is just a nice little added bonus to being in here. But everything's pretty typical. As you expect, I'm still running a virtual DJ after 3 or 4 events now. I think I've tweaked a couple things out too. I was a little worried about the sound sounding compressed. And I was able to do a little bit more tweaking with my gain on my inputs because it definitely runs a bit hotter than Serato. But now with those couple tweaks, things sound definitely a bit crisper. In here is definitely a little different because I do not use my speakers. As you can see, my Evolves are not out here. But the venue actually has a permanent installation in here. Of course, that makes setup that much easier to deal with. And now add all the bonuses of a nice, beautiful day, nice and cool. Definitely feels almost like on the edge of fall as opposed to anything. I don't know if you can hear right now, but a train is coming through, and that's one of the gotchas from being here. It's a nice little added, feature of the area is you have train tracks actually on both sides. You have a commercial side over on one, and you have a passenger side over on the other side of the river. And occasionally, especially if you're doing outside ceremonies, you need to make sure that volume-wise you have enough headroom to kind of go over that when that does happen. It doesn't happen too often, and it's not too loud, but this is something as a DJ performing here, especially for the ceremonies, is something to be at least aware of. But luckily for me, the Mauis sound really great over that. Matter of fact, let's go take a look at my Mauis and how all that's set up right now. All right, so as you can see behind me, we actually have the florist doing the awning right now, and you can see on both of the sides of me are my Mauis. I've done fairly large crowds out here. It's a nice narrow space, and I never have to go over the top of my Mauis. It always sounds like they're easily taking command of sound. But it is kind of an interesting dynamic where there's a wall on this side with a brick wall over here, and it can change the dynamics of sound just a little bit. I actually do EQ my sound a little differently out here than some of the other outdoor locations I've done before, but overall it's just a nice little spot to work in, and managing sound, it's not too bad. I'm usually sometimes either sitting back here controlling sound, worrying about lineup and everything just over here on this corner as people come in through the tent, or I'll be kind of perusing the corners and the edges, just walking around making sure that sound is always uniform, nothing's freaking out or anything like that. So that's how things are kind of set up. Nice, simple. Actually, my general equipment is actually inside the tent, just right off here into the corner. So it's a nice short throw. It actually hooked up to power right now. If there was ever a need, I can always unhook off power and easily run off that for a long time. But it's always nice when power's there, take advantage of it. As much as I like using my UPSs, you don't have to use them all the time. But it is hooked in just in case there is a power outage or anything, but I'm not running it independent right now. But other than that, nice beautiful day, nice beautiful spot. Can't wait for this kickoff.
Some bad character, them the kind of living can hold chaka from it. Y'all gon' make me lose my cool. Up in here, up in here. I got some baby, want some baby. Pop on the pole, do your thing, baby.
All right, everybody, it's Saturday morning, and I took a little break from my typical, filming the kind of after, summary of my gig logs from last night. I was just exhausted from it. Don't know why. I think the change of weather, with it being definitely a lot nicer, but then getting cooler at night, is definitely, it wreaks just havoc on the body, at least for my body. So music-wise, we were all over the map, and some things presented some additional challenges. And once I did intros, I did the first dance, and I got a real quick set, definitely different genres for each piece, because I wanted to feel people out early to see where things would go. And immediately I saw it was going to be everybody stays in their own lane kind of night. So you had your salsa people, you actually had Compas, which is a Haitian style that actually I had not really done much with in the past. I had a couple events before I literally played one or two songs. This night was definitely a little bit more heavy on that side. Definitely had some of your hip hop crowd. The R&B crowd really wasn't there that much. But it was just a real, trying to make sure everybody kind of, felt accommodated, and also at the same token, trying to keep things, fresh, not to stay into things too long, but also trying to make sure that, people stayed on the floor for at least a few sets of songs. So it was this kind of rotation around, trying to find energy. I actually ended the night on Avicii Levels, which I think really brought that final little bit of energy out. But it was still a great night. Just presents a unique challenge to the DJ when you really have to hone in on each little group and then making sure that they're represented, especially when everybody's so kind of like small but equal inside the crowd itself. So still just awesome, absolutely gorgeous. I think it was really the most pleasant day and night that I've done for this year, temperature-wise. Cloud cover was nice in there, so things weren't too hot during ceremony or anything like that. It was just overall just a great night. Couple was really, really awesome throughout the process. And to be honest, most of my couples really are. As you just saw in the video before, I just unpacked the van. It's lots of housework and everything for me. This is my Sunday to kind of, churn things. This is actually going to get super busy now for me for the rest of September. For those who've been following me, I just got accepted into an acceleration program for my Equity product, which I'm going to start talking extensively on soon now that things are looking like I have a new path to get this out there. So stay tuned for that for sure. Also, make sure jump over to my Equity channel. I have a link below for that, and to kind of keep on updates on that major front as well. But just lots of things going on between my IT work, my DJ work. Now this is prime season for weddings. I have a lot of events coming up, including a double header on this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday. But busy time for me. Time to keep that energy up. Stay tuned.